The storm had arrived without warning, the kind that swallowed roads and silenced phone signals in one cruel sweep. Snow pressed hard against the windows of the old mountain cabin, piling higher with every passing hour, as if nature itself had decided that no one inside would be leaving anytime soon. Ethan Cole stood near the fireplace, rubbing his hands together, not from the cold alone but from the weight of responsibility he carried everywhere. He was used to it. Being a single father had taught him how to stay steady even when the world felt unstable, but tonight felt different. Tonight, the silence had another presence in it. Across the room, seated on the edge of the narrow couch, was Claire Whitmore. CEO, billion-dollar company, boardroom legend, and currently, just a woman stranded in a cabin with a man she barely knew. Her tailored coat was folded neatly beside her, snow melting off her boots near the door. The firelight softened her sharp features, turning the confident lines of her face into something warmer, more human. She had handled crises before, hostile takeovers, brutal negotiations, but this was unfamiliar territory. No assistants, no schedules, no exits, just the storm, and him. "I didn't expect the road to disappear like that," she said quietly, breaking the silence. "It does that," Ethan replied. "Mountain doesn't care who you are." She smiled faintly at that, pulling her blanket tighter around her shoulders. "I'm starting to notice." The cabin wasn't large. One bedroom, one couch, one fire that needed constant tending. When Ethan had offered the cabin as shelter after her car slid into a snowbank miles back, it hadn't felt strange. It had felt necessary. Now, as night deepened, necessity turned into proximity. He checked his phone again. No signal. "Storm should pass by morning," he said, more reassurance than certainty. Claire nodded, though her fingers betrayed her, fidgeting with the edge of the blanket. "I'm not afraid of being stuck," she admitted. "I'm afraid of being useless." That surprised him. He turned to face her fully. "You're not." She let out a breath that sounded like she'd been holding it for years. "I don't know how to stop being in control. I don't know how to stop worrying," he said softly. "Guess we're both bad at resting." Their eyes met, and something unspoken settled between them, not desire, not yet, but recognition. Two people used to carrying weight alone, suddenly sharing the same quiet space. Later, when the fire burned lower and the cabin grew colder, Ethan hesitated near the doorway of the bedroom. "There's only one bed," he said. "I can take the couch." Claire shook her head. "You shouldn't. You've been chopping wood, fixing things, keeping us warm. I'll take the couch." "It's not a debate," he said gently. "I'm used to it." She studied him then, really studied him, and for the first time since she'd met him, she saw past the worn jacket and calm eyes. She saw a man who had learned how to give without expecting anything back. "Ethan," she said, her voice softer now, almost uncertain. "It's freezing, and the couch is small." He waited, not wanting to assume. After a long pause, she whispered, barely audible over the crackle of the fire. "Can I slip under your blanket?" The question wasn't flirtation, it was vulnerability. He swallowed, nodded once. "Yeah, of course." They lay on opposite sides of the bed at first, stiff and careful, a respectful distance between them. The wind howled outside, rattling the windows, but inside, the warmth slowly returned. After a few minutes, Claire shifted closer, her cold hands brushing his sleeve. "Sorry," she murmured. "It's okay," he said. Another minute passed, then another. Her shoulder rested lightly against his arm now, her breathing slowing, the sharp edge of her control finally loosening. He could feel the tension leave her in waves, and without thinking, he adjusted the blanket to cover her better. "You don't treat people like they're temporary," she said quietly. "I don't know how," he replied. "My son taught me that." She smiled into the darkness. "You talk about him like he's your anchor." "He is. I envy that," she confessed. "I built everything, except a place to rest." The words stayed between them, fragile and honest. Ethan turned slightly, just enough that she could hear his heartbeat. "You're allowed to rest," he said. "Even strong people are." She exhaled shakily, and before she could stop herself, her hand found his, fingers curling instinctively. He didn't pull away. Instead, he held her hand like it was the most natural thing in the world. The night passed slowly, wrapped in quiet warmth and shared breaths. No urgency, no expectations, just two hearts learning how to be still together. By morning, the storm had softened, light spilling gently through the frosted window. Claire woke first, surprised to find she felt safe. Truly safe. Her head rested near his shoulder, their hands still entwined. She didn't move right away. Neither did he. For the first time in a long time, neither of them felt alone. And somehow, in that small mountain cabin, trapped by snow and circumstance, they found something neither had been looking for, but both had needed all along.